Hello everyone, this is Janet Cato, and I wanted to do a little meditation, an introduction into working with your spirit guides. This will hopefully help those who are new to connecting with their spirit guides, and also a reminder or realignment or adjustment in working with your guides, even if you've been working with them for years. I have a simple technique that was taught to me by one of my teachers, and I really love it, and it works even if you feel like you're not getting any kind of message, or you don't get words, or you don't, get a sense of your guides at all. This is a fantastic way to really begin the path, really begin to open a communication with those beautiful, loving, unseen beings who are guiding us all the time, whether we know it or not, and who are helping us throughout our lives. Anytime we connect with spirit, it's always a really good idea to set your intention. When you set your intention, then it allows for you to connect with your guide and only your guide, and not any other kind of spiritual being or entity or ghost or anything like that. When we set the intention that we receive messages to serve our highest good and to help us on our path to our highest potential, and or you can add in messages that support you in love. This keeps any energy or entity away from you that doesn't hold the same intention, because the law of reflection states that we get what we put out. And if we put out that we want this thing, messages to serve our highest good, then we are going to receive that in return. It is your protection. Your intention is your protection. A lot of people get a little bit freaked out about working with spirit because they don't know what they're getting or whatever. But if we truly hold that intention in our heart, we really believe that that's what we really want, then that is what we will really get. Those who get lower level entities or speak to spirits that don't hold the highest good, or speak to spirits that aren't spirit guides, they don't hold that intention, or they have their own ways of protecting themselves. But also, if we don't have that intention, we don't really have a way of protecting ourselves. So we do want to state that intention. You can state it mentally, you can state it out loud. When you sit down to connect with your guide, you say, I wish to receive messages that serve my highest good, help me on my path to my highest potential, and support me in love from my guide and only my guide. This will keep everything pretty clear. Again, if you don't believe that intention, if that really isn't your intention, so if you don't believe that intention, or, if you're just kind of saying it without really thinking about it, then it won't work. Like, you could get any kind of entity answering your questions. And usually any entity that's not your spirit guide, not from the highest realms, not from the beings connected directly to divinity, then you could get wrong answers, or things could go pretty strangely. So we're going to keep you clear with this. And I want to also add that spirit guides will answer any question or will help you with anything. It doesn't have to be high-minded. It doesn't have to be something that is, super spiritual or whatever. They do want to help you with every little thing. Spirit guides help with our lives on every level, mundane level. Guides will help you pick out what you want, what to wear that day. Guides will help you find what you need at the grocery store. Guides will help you get to that place on time. Guides will remind you when to call someone, or all that kind of stuff. Like, they're active in your life, and the more active they are in your life, the easier your connection is with them. So ask them for the simple, mundane things, as well as, the more complex things. And you'll find that your communication with them will grow, And soon you'll be getting more than yes or no. Soon you'll be getting really profound insights, great deal of wisdom. And it's super fun. It's super interesting. It's super exciting. And I absolutely find that my day-to-day problems are less difficult when I get a lot of help, support, and inspiration from my guides. Okay, so let's get started. Now we're going to do a really short and quick meditation. And this meditation, when I talk about meditation, I'm talking about something just to relax the mind. We're not trying to have a completely empty mind. We're going to let those thoughts flow in and out. We're just going to relax the mind like we relax the mind when we watch a television show, or when we're driving the car, or when we're taking the shower, or doing the dishes. We're just in a relaxed state of mind, letting the mind wander, having our thoughts. That's the energy you want to be in anytime you're working with your psychic senses, anytime you're working to connect, is because if you overthink, if your mind is super active and your mental field is very focused and intense, you're not going to get what you're asking for. Spirit works through the heart energy, not through the mental energy. And so when we relax the mind, we're not actively mental. We are in the more softer energy of the heart, and we are ready to pay attention to our intuitive senses and our connection with spirit. When the mind is active, it actually blocks any kind of intuitive sense, any kind of spiritual connection. So you relax the mind when you go into meditation, and you're just kind of in that wandering mind kind of attitude, and then you can shift your attention into what's coming up and how it feels and so on. So this is a very simple thing. You'll get used to it once you do it enough. A lot of people will have already had the experience of connecting with spirit or getting inspiration when they have a relaxed state of mind. That's like when you're in the shower and you get this great idea, or you get an answer to a problem. Sometimes those answers come as you're like having an imaginary conversation in your head, or you're just waking up and you get the answer that you've been wondering about. So all these things happen because you've relaxed the mind and allowed spirit to come forward. Okay, now, all that being said, we're going to do really super easy. We're going to ask spirit to give you a physical sensation or an emotional sensation, a feeling. So it could be a feeling or a physical pressure or tingle or something like that. So we're going to ask spirit to do that. So when we go into the meditation, I want you to kind of pay attention to your feelings, to any kind of unusual pressure, tingling sensation, butterflies, and then or it could be an emotional feeling like love or joy or peace or something like that. So we're going to ask for a feeling, and here we go. So get comfortable. We're going to first do 3 cleansing breaths. Long breath in the nose and out the mouth. Good. And again, long breath in the nose and out the mouth. And again, long breath in the nose and out the mouth. Good. Those are the 3 cleansing breaths. Basically just open your energy field and settle your energy. Now we breathe gently in and out the nose, feeling very comfortable. Now we're going to tune into the body and just sort of make sure your body's in a relaxed state. Tune into your heart, see how you're feeling in the moment. And if you need to settle it in or get more comfortable, do that just with your breathing in and out the nose. Then we're going to set intention that we receive messages that serve our highest good and help us on our path to our highest potential, and that support us in love from our spirit guide and only our guide. And with that intention set, we're going to ask our guide to give us a physical sensation or a feeling sensation that is our signal from them that the answer is yes. We can ask again for them to repeat it. Now we're going to thank them for that physical sensation. If you didn't get a physical or a feeling sensation from your guide, I suggest that you practice this. Every day, just sit down and pay attention and breathe and allow and see if it's just a matter of getting yourself tuned in to any kind of shifts physically or emotionally that will bring it about. Sometimes it doesn't happen on the first try, so you just keep trying. I would say give it a few days, give it a few times, but don't do it more than once in a day. You want to just try to do the same time every day to speak with your guides. This is a signal to your unconscious and your body that now we're sitting and paying attention to spirit. If you do it the same time every day, if you can. Okay, now we're going to again settle in, breathing gently in and out the nose. Pay attention to your breath, pay attention to your body. And begin to tune into how you feel in this moment. And then we're going to ask your guide for the physical sensation or feeling sensation that means no. Now ask again just to be sure for them to repeat it, or ask again and see what comes. Okay. Now, for no, it's a little different because some of you won't get a no at all because Spirit doesn't really like no because it cuts the flow of the energy of the universe. The universe is a yes. Everything is a yes to the universe, and Spirit is aligned with that, so it doesn't really like to say no. It's usually I will only get a no or something so absolute to stop the energy is if what I'm thinking is going to cause harm. You know, if what I'm asking about or something like that is going to actually cause harm. So that's when my spirit guides will step in and say no, but it's pretty rare. Obviously, I'm not thinking about harmful things very often. So it's pretty rare that they do that. The other thing is that it could just come with practice, and you know, some guides are fine with saying no and some are not, so it just sort of depends. Now also we're not going to go into maybe or anything like that. To me, if it's not a yes, it's just not yes, and you can set it aside and say, okay, I'll ask again later, or you know, just let it go. So if you don't get a physical sensation for yes when you ask a question, then it means no answer at this time, kind of thing. So just let it go and leave it alone and see what happens. When we're working with spirit, this is a practice. Okay, so you're learning how they respond to you and how to ask the right questions and what they like to respond to and how they're helping you and all this stuff. This is a very exciting time when you're first beginning. And if you have already a connection with your guide, but you haven't done this physical sensation yes or no thing, it is really fun. The guides love to communicate with you any way possible. So even if you're an expert channeler, this kind of physical sensation will always be great in any situation where they'll just give you a little pressure to help you know they're there and they're guiding you, and you don't have to go into meditation or have a conversation with them in order to get the guidance that you need in the moment, in the everyday moments. So when you ask a guided question, remember that they're very literal. So you want to, when you're asking the yes or no question, you want to be super, super clear and ask it so that there's not a lot of wiggle room. So you do want to ask questions that are very clearly yes or no and not, don't leave any room for interpretation. Okay, so please leave your comments, questions, experiences, and so forth in the comments here. I would love to hear how your experience went and what sensations you got or what questions you have. Please feel free to join the conversation and let us know how it's going. I want to thank the guides and angels for their messages and support here today. And when you end your connection with your guides, always do thank them. Even if you got nothing from them, it's always good to just acknowledge their existence and give them thanks, because even though you may not have gotten anything in the moment, they are helping you every other moment, and you're just not aware of it yet. So I thank you all for listening and joining in, and I hope you have a most beautiful and wonderful day. Take care, everyone.